Everyone, it's Autumn. I haven't been on here in a while because many of you may know that I am also in the military, and my busy season for what I do in the military is between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. So we are past Veterans Day and I can start focusing on maybe putting some videos up now. And today I just wanted to kind of chat a little bit with you and try out some new makeup. So we're in a little bit of a transition right now where well, I guess weather transition, and my skin is going nuts. I'm sure you see what is going on in my nose, so we're definitely going to try to cover that, but I'm not going to worry too much about it because I'm sure all of you also, even though you're wrinkling like I am, I'm middle-aged and I'm wrinkling, sometimes you get pimples. And also I have some leftover dermatitis down here. So it's just going to be, this is the video. So the things that I wanted to try are a couple of foundations. I'm probably only going to use one today, but I did actually film it and I decided not to put it up because it was so long and kind of boring. And then by the time I got around to being able to edit, which was last night, and I bought it like well over a month ago, it's like the holiday sets from Lancome and from Estee Lauder. And you have to purchase something from them to be able to buy that set at a discount. And every year when I purchase them, I always just get a foundation so that maybe I could create a full face of makeup, and that's typically what the video is. But from Estee Lauder, I got this new Futurist Skin Tint Serum, and that sounded really good to me because I am on the drier side. And then from Lancome, I love a stick foundation. I got their Tint Idole Ultra Wear stick foundation. So here it is. And I probably today will go with the Estee Lauder because I have this primer that I want to try too from Estee Lauder. And I find a lot of the times that if a company makes a primer, it typically does work very well with their foundations. So I'm actually just going to start off by getting some of this out of here. So if you guys are curious about my opinions on those holiday sets, I think it's the same every year. If you are somebody who is on a budget and you want to try some higher end skincare, those kits are the way to go because they do put their actual regular skincare in there. But if you're wanting to try their higher end makeup, it's hit or miss because typically the eyeshadow palettes that they put in there, which I actually have them right here in my declutter bin, hold on. The eyeshadow palettes they put in there are not their regular quality of eyeshadows. These I found to be just a little bit dustier. It's just not the regular quality. But the skincare is still a good deal if that's what you're looking for. So, but the things like mascara and stuff like that that they put in there is obviously their regular stuff. It's really just the powder products that I think they go cheaper on. All right, so I have this primer on, and when it came out, I mean, I think my skin looks okay, but when it came out, I don't know if you can see this up close, it has like a very iridescent kind of glow to it. Maybe if I do this and get my face out of it. Yeah, there we go. And it's actually quite pretty, but I find that doesn't really show up a whole lot on the skin once it's rubbed in. I'm gonna put a second layer. And obviously you don't wanna look like the Tin Man, but if you're applying foundation over it and you're still wanting to see some of that glow, it might be nice. So there that is. And then let's go ahead. I'm gonna shake this. I'm pretty sure you need to shake it. It doesn't say anywhere on it to shake it, but it's a liquid, so I'm gonna shake it. And I'm gonna apply this on the back of my hand. And then I wanna go in with like a foundation type brush. I love these Merit foundation brushes. I guess it's called, they have two brushes now. They have their eyeshadow brush, and then they have this brush, which is called, I think, like brush 1. Actually, this foundation, I keep like going in so I could see my face closer. This might be better just worked into the skin with the hands and like warmed up, because I feel like it's just sitting on top of the skin when I'm going in with that brush. So maybe try your fingers. And for it being a serum foundation, I find that it's probably still, I would say, light possibly to medium coverage. I did try this when I did the video of, the boxes, the holiday boxes. I did try the foundation then, but again, my skin is a little bit drier, and what I found, I didn't use a lot of skincare or a lot of, I guess, skin prep or primers when putting this on. And what I found from my dry skin is that it looks great when I first put it on, and then once it absorbs into the skin, because my skin is thirsty, it absorbs like the moisturizing products and then leaves the pigment on top of the skin, and it definitely drew attention to the dry areas on my skin. Like, it did not look good at all. So hopefully today it works a little bit better. I found the same thing to happen with the other Estee Lauder, which I'll show you. I have it somewhere, yeah. Found the same thing happened with this. I bought it in the spring when it first came out a couple years ago, and I hated it because my skin just looked so dry once it kind of like worked into the skin over the course of the day. But I found when I wore it in the summer, it looks fine. All right, and we're gonna do something about that spot on my nose now. I have like this slightly green tinted concealer from the Same, and I'm gonna go over and try to correct some of that redness here. The thing is, since this is such a pale green, it kind of borders on skin tone pale green, it does make redness look a little bit gray. So after I kind of dab this in, I'm gonna go in with some regular concealer, but I think this definitely will help with some of that redness I have. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of tap this in a little bit, and then I'm gonna go over with my regular concealer in a few minutes. Let's just use this brush. And so today I'm wanting to kind of test out, like I mentioned, some new products. The main ones that I want to test out, again, is this one that I tested a little bit, and I'm pretty sure I hate it, but I want to use it on camera again and see how it works with this makeup to make my final determination. This is from Polite Society. It's the people who made Too Faced. When they sold Too Faced off to Estee Lauder, they then created a new brand. And then I got this, and it's from Rabonne. I'm probably saying it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen like this company make perfumes before. I'm pretty sure they're a designer, but I'm an uncultured swine, so I couldn't tell you anything about their fashion. If I can find anything online, I will definitely maybe put some images of what they're going for. And then it also came, well, it didn't come with it, but I also bought this duo that has like a glitter on one side and then a balm on the other. And had I seen it in person and not purchased it online, I probably wouldn't have bought this, but I am gonna test them together and see what kind of eye look we can come up with. So those are the main things that I'm kind of wanting to test today. I did also buy from the Chanel and the Dior holiday collections, and I just haven't had a time to play with them or do a video on them. So I will probably do, well, I lied. I have played with the Chanel. But anyway, I haven't done a video on them, so I know those videos are already up, and I don't know what's still available, but I think I definitely still want to do a video trying those things on and chatting about things like I am today. Because here's the thing. The videos, I need to continue putting on makeup while I chat. The videos that I like to watch on YouTube are the ones where it feels like people aren't trying to sell me stuff. And that they're just enjoying and they're trying out products. And those are the kinds of videos that I like to make. The problem is all the people like that I really enjoyed watching. I don't know why I'm using two different fingers, different eyes. All the people that I used to enjoy watching that came across that way, it wasn't really sustainable, and they had to go back to their everyday jobs because they weren't making money. But those who are making money are clearly the ones who are selling you stuff. So it's kind of like a catch-22 situation, because you kind of have to sell stuff on here to kind of be able to continue doing YouTube as a job. Now, I don't do it as a job, and I've been kind of going back and forth. I'm like, what if I really just put my effort into it just to see what would happen. And I know that like I create links, which I can create links to anything I like though. I think the problem comes in when people are getting sponsorships from companies that they might not normally want to use. And even as a smaller creator, I get emails every day from companies wanting me to push product and offering me sponsorships. And for me right now, I do accept free product as long as there's no expectation of me creating a video. And by the time I get around to telling them that, they want nothing to do with me. They would rather just send me product and force me to say something about it and pay me than send me product and me doing a video about it. Like, they don't want to take that chance, right? They would rather pay to ensure that they're going to get a positive review, and that kind of feels icky to me. So I get tons of emails requesting, but that's also why I am not doing tons of videos where people are sending me things. And I don't do sponsored content. Now, at some point, if a company reached out to me that I had already talked about like a million times, and I loved their stuff, well, yeah, if you want to sponsor me, great. But at that point, I've already talked about your stuff a million times. Why would you pay me to do it? So that's kind of where we're at with that. And then since I can make a link for just about any product that I already like, that kind of works out in a way to where I feel like, you know, obviously my content, and there are other people who, you know, do the same thing I do. Our content is like genuine. The problem comes with those links, whereas then I log into the links and they actually show you what products are going to give you the most like percentage. And then I notice that in my feed, lots of people are pushing those products. And so I don't even look at that before I go to make a video or I go to plan what I'm going to talk about, because again, I don't find that that's honest. All right, so I'm going to powder my face a little bit. I'm trying to debate what I want to use to powder my face. I think I'm going to go in with Laura Mercier, because that's kind of a tried and true. I usually can't go bad or go wrong with that. And I want a powder puff though. Here we go. And I'm just kind of pushing this over my face just to kind of create like, I guess, an even like smooth base for these other powder products. And the reason I want to do that is because I have tried this blush palette before, and I found that it laid on top of the skin and looked very kind of like patchy. Like after I wore it for a while, it looked awful and textured. And so I want to ensure that I'm giving it the best like base possible. So making sure everything feels nice and smooth. I'm gonna go in with a brush too. Also, I recently went onto the Refer website and they were running a 50% off sale on their brushes. A few of you have asked me before what my favorite brushes are, and they're the Refer brushes. They're still pretty expensive when you get the kits, but they really are my absolute favorite brushes. The quality is really, really good. So if you're gonna get it, I would say go right now, because they're doing that 50% off sale. At least hopefully they still are. But yes, I really love their brushes. I'm gonna go in. Let me see if this Jones Road pencil, because I rubbed off a lot of that. I'm afraid. Let me get a little bit right here on my finger and then just kind of dab it in. So these thicker concealers like this stay a lot longer. The Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage is that way too, but getting it to work into your skin is the hard thing. So I had to warm it up on my finger and then put it on my nose, and hopefully this stays and looks okay. All right, I already powdered my face and I forgot to go in with what I typically use, which is this Fenty cream. So I'm gonna go in with this instead. And this is the Ulta Faux Glow Matte Bronzer. Just to kind of add a little bit of color around the perimeter of my face before I apply the brush. And by the way, I will leave everything linked. And if you want to help support my channel, you can use those links. And if you don't, that is okay too. I will clearly like try to mention everything or just have it listed below if you just want to go search it yourself. All right, let's do my eyebrows. What I've been using recently for my eyebrows has been this Beauty Pie pencil. It's called Super Brow Angled Shaping Pencil. And I just really like the texture of this and also how easy it is. It's like an angled sort of pencil and I can just draw things on really quickly. It's got a tiny bit of a waxy consistency, but it's not too waxy and it's not like too dry where you have to really go in to try to rub it in and get it to like stay. So I really do like this, and the color is actually pretty good for me. A lot of the times I find when I'm using Beauty Pie products, I have a hard time finding like foundation colors or actually any of their colors at all to work for me. They're not very nuanced and I just have a hard time finding colors to work. But I think that this brow pencil is actually pretty good. So what were we talking about? I feel like I was mentioning how everybody's like selling, and that's what, like, I'm having a hard time. I love watching YouTube videos, but I don't like being sold to, and I just love seeing somebody use a product and enjoy it, and then me like wonder what it is, right? So, and I think that used to be kind of the magic of YouTube. Like back in the day when Pixie Woo were doing their videos, they were using, you know, different products almost every day, and you could see different shades and things like that you liked. And I think that that really pushed people to want to like try new products and try like new ways of applying makeup. But then now it's just a situation where most people are selling on TikTok, most people are watching TikTok. You're watching a video that's no longer than 3 minutes, because I think you can do 3-minute videos. You're watching relatively short videos now that does not have a ton of information in them, and they're just doing their best to like be overkill and sell a product to you in that frame of time. And so it's really hard to get in and talk about different nuances of a product and what you may or may not like about a product in that short time period. So clearly they're only gonna tell you the positives. Plus there are so many filters on that app that it's actually hard to know what's real and what's not. But since most people have left and they're no longer on the YouTube platform, I find that like I don't even enjoy coming to YouTube anymore because nobody's posting. There's a few people that I still enjoy watching, but I mean, again, they're like me, like where YouTube is not their main job. Let's try this. The smell, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, is off-putting. They tried something, I appreciate that, but it smells like those sweet plasticky kind of toys of the 80s. And so I know what they were going for, but it's too much. All right, so I'm first gonna go in with this matte blush down here. I'm gonna try to get it into the brush and on my palm. And I believe this is the only shade they have in blush. Like this palette, this is it. Which I don't mind because I typically go for corals. But my main issue with this palette was the quality, like the smell and the quality of the powders. Okay, so we have that on there. maybe working towards the backs of the cheeks, we'll kind of go into this one, which is a more beigey peach. And it does seem to have a bit of a sheen to it. Okay, and I'm gonna take a close look at my cheeks real quick. So it's not looking too bad now. So maybe by putting that powder down, I've prevented what I thought was gonna happen from happening. But I do wanna kind of build a cheek. And so I'm gonna lightly go over now with that shade. And I want something though, that was a pretty dense brush I had. I'm gonna go in with this fluffier brush here. And kind of just bring it over the apples. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back over with my foundation brush or just around the edges. Okay. And now for the highlighter. So you can see the texture in this highlighter. And I don't love that. And I don't think it looks that great on my cheeks either, like the rest of the blushes right now. But I'm gonna go in with this Referral fan brush. And yeah, it shows a lot of texture on my skin. Texture that normally would not pick up for me like wearing a highlighter. And I'm just gonna go over kind of with this and try to mix around the edges. All right, let's go into the eyes. So I do have two eye products from Rabonne. I have the Color Shot Cream to Paint Matte Liquid Eyeshadow, and I wanna go in with that first. And I actually was mostly interested in this because of the color. But the color on, I guess it looks the same in picture. Let me see if I can thin it out. It looked like it was gonna be a lighter and then like almost like a pukey type color, which is what I typically like to go for. Let me get a little brush here. I'm not loving that brush. I want something a little bit more synthetic. Maybe, I think that might be better. That's a little bit better. Let's do this other side. So what I will say is once this dries down, it feels like it's not going anywhere. I am gonna squeeze a little bit more out, if I can, just a tiny, tiny bit, and I'm gonna put it on this, the end of this Merit brush. And then I'm gonna use the big end that's clean to kind of just buff that out. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it is like raining outside, like hard. So let's go into this. It has the Neutral Flash, which they call Sparkle, and then Mirror Gloss, which is just an eye gloss. And I'm thinking, let me try the eye gloss. I'm having a hard time figuring out what side to open this from. There we go, okay. So I'm gonna go in with the Neutral Flash, which is the Sparkle, and place that on the center of my lids. It's actually very pretty, but I do kind of want to buff that out a little bit because again, the only place I'm going today is to the gym. I actually already have my top on for the gym, but I'm clearly not gonna wear I'll have to wash my face. There's no way. Okay. Let's go in with the gloss. And it is just like a clear, balmy gloss. And I'm wondering if since that liquid shadow just like set down so well, I'm wondering how much this would disturb it. And also, I think I might be picking up to glitter, but I actually like the way the eye looks. It will probably crease though. Like, where am I gonna wear a glossy eye? Maybe New Year's, but that's very pretty. It will 100% crease. Let me see if I take the balm, because I do have some of that shadow on the back of my hand. I'm gonna take the balm and just see how it interacts with the balm. So without having anything on my hand, that stays there. So let's add the balm. Yeah, it kind of actually brings that back to life. If I add the balm and I mix it, I'm gonna have to play around with that. Maybe I will go in once my eyes set with that initial, with that initial eyeshadow, and maybe at times where I feel like it didn't spread the way I wanted it to, maybe I'll take a teeny tiny amount of that balm and work in. I'm gonna try to go back in over the balm though with the glitter and see what happens, because I don't know what order I'm supposed to do things. But it would make sense to try to put glitter over the balm to make it stick. Yeah, that's a lot of glow. I'm gonna go back in with this brush just to kind of work around the edges and pat everything in, and also get any excess product out of the crease, which it's still gonna crease, but maybe I could prevent it from creasing as quickly if I just kind of move it around a little bit. All right, so now I want to spray, and then we'll do some lip products. And I do want to say, it looks like I have makeup on, clearly. Especially in the cheek area. I'm gonna let this dry, but my cheeks hardly ever have this much texture, which is fine. I feel like this makeup is maybe marketed towards younger people. Because go flush yourself. Yeah, I look very clowny. You know, this reminds me of like that overdone 80s makeup. So I don't love it. Did I have to put every single blush in the palette on my face? No. But did I? I sure did. Let's put some mascara on. I'm not gonna go too crazy because I'm pretty sure I'm immediately gonna wash this off as soon as the video is done. And then maybe I will try to do some makeup that looks less clown-like. But sometimes just adding some mascara helps to bring the look together. So, and I'm still not seeing any creasing, which is almost a miracle in and of itself, because those sorts of glossy products always immediately crease. But I'm wondering if it's the combination. Oh, I do see a little bit of creasing here on this side now. So I spoke too soon. Yeah, you can just kind of see on the cheek. It's like sitting, if I move my head, it just sits on top. It's not like, it's not cosmetically elegant, to say the least. So I am probably going to immediately declutter. Actually, I'm doing it now. I'm decluttering this. But let's put on a lip product. I recently got this Gucci lipstick. And where'd this go? I feel like if I put too much color on now, this look is gonna be a lot. You know what? This gloss came in that Estee Lauder holiday kit. I'm gonna apply a little bit of that just to the lip, obviously. And I do find that this gloss likes to travel. So I need to find a lip liner and go ahead and put it around the edges of the lips. I'm gonna get MAC Oak. And I was having a discussion recently with somebody talking about these MAC lip liners. They are not creamy. They're actually super, super hard. And if you try to fill in your lips with them and you have dry lips, you're gonna tear your lips up. They are really just meant to leave a slight tint on the outside. Sometimes if I warm it up on the back of my hand, like I really go in and then I go, like it works a little bit better. All right, so how do we feel about this? I know how I feel about it. I think the blush is too much with the eye look, but I actually don't mind the eye look if I were going for something like maybe for New Year's or a little bit more, I don't know, daring or going out. I'm typically very plain with my eyeshadow. But yeah, the cheeks are textured. It just does not look good. I'm gonna zoom you in on the skin. So those are the cheeks. Also, last week I woke up and I know that it's probably because it's so dry out right now and my skin is just going through it. But I woke up and I'm like, I'm old. I look old. Like, I think, make sure, yeah. Even like my neck skin looked crepey and old. And I don't know, have any of you just woken up one day and be like, oh my God, what happened? It's like, it happened in a day. So I don't know. And I'm sure I don't look that much different to you guys, but I just feel like I aged so much like in a day. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one, and I am working on ways to create content that is genuine and is not me pushing product without only being like videos of stuff I bought. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about and like what I'm looking at. I find that videos of stuff that I bought isn't really helpful to you because I just bought it, so I don't know much about it. But then on the other hand, I feel like if I'm really loving products, then it seems a little bit like I'm trying to sell you stuff. So that's what I'm working on right now. That's a me problem. You guys probably, I don't know, you probably are. I'm sick of people doing those videos too. Anyway, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.